Welcome to Hubstaff. The following video was created to help you set up your account, learn more about our features, and get your team ready to begin tracking time. The video is divided into chapters so that you can skip ahead easily using the dots on the timeline. You can also use the chapters button, which is represented by 3 horizontal lines on the bottom right of the video. If you have any questions that aren't answered in these chapters, you can find many articles to assist you on our knowledge-based site, support.hubstaff.com. You can also contact our support team directly with any questions at support@hubstaff.com. Welcome to the Hubstaff dashboard. Here you can see information regarding yourself and your team. Within the dashboard, you'll find the Manage Widgets button. Using this button, you can toggle on and off widgets that will show you data relating to your organization and how your team is performing. There are small widgets like activity, members worked, and projects worked, and there are also larger widgets like apps and URLs, members, and projects. Let's take a look at some of these widgets. The Members widget will show you who's working, daily activity levels, and time tracked, as well as weekly activity levels and time tracked. The Apps and URLs widget will show you the total amount of time your team has spent on each app or specific URL. The Projects widget will show you the projects that are actively being tracked to, the activity percentages, and the total time tracked. These are just a few examples of the widgets available to you. To see the full list and toggle them on and off, you can always visit the Manage Widgets button in the top right corner to see them and make selections. If you're looking for screenshots, they're not visible on the dashboard. To see them, you want to visit the Activity area and select the Screenshot section. If you're not seeing any, and you know that you or your team have been tracking time using our desktop apps, wait for 20 or 30 minutes or so for the uploads to catch up. That will usually resolve the issue. Make sure the user keeps their time tracking tool open, even if they're not tracking time. If they're on a Mac client, restarting the app usually fixes the issue. Daily tracked apps and URLs for individual members are also not located on the dashboard. These are the slowest to upload due to how many we track, so most of the time they'll show up if you wait a few hours or check back the next day. Projects are meant to organize the work within an organization and are what you and your team will track time to. Projects can be set up in the Projects menu. To add in a new project, click on the Add Project button and a creation box will appear on your screen. You're able to name the project and assign new members to it. There are 3 types of project roles. Managers that can oversee the project and the project members. They can also track time to the project. Users, which are the members actively tracking time to the project and working on it. And viewers, which cannot track time to the project or manage it, only see information relating to it. If you're not currently using Hubstaff Tasks, our project management tool, you'll see a selection at the bottom that will allow you to visit the site and connect it with your Hubstaff organization. Hubstaff Tasks will give you more control over your projects and communication with your team. Once you've created a project, you can also optionally add in a budget for it. Clicking on the Edit Budget button will open up a dialog box where you can change the budget type, total cost or total hours, what the budget will be based on, bill rate or pay rate, the amount you wish to set for the budget, the start date, and when to notify you when the budget is close to being met. Click the Save button to save any changes. After you've signed up for Hubstaff and created an organization, you'll want to get your team added. This can be done from the Members menu. In the Members menu, you'll see a button titled Invite Member. Clicking on it will bring up a dialog box where you can add in the email address of the person you're inviting, select the role you intend them to have in the organization, and assign them to any projects you have already created that you wish them to be able to track time to. When you're finished, you can click the Send button. The person you have invited will receive an invitation email. On that email, there is an Accept Invite button they will want to click on. After clicking it, they will be redirected to Hubstaff so they can create their account. The page will ask them for their name and to create a password. They will need to check the box that they accept the terms of service, and then they can click the Create My Account button. They'll see a page with the organization name and be able to click the Go button. When they first see their Hubstaff account, there will be a page telling them that the first step is to download the app for time tracking. They'll also be able to click on the Projects menu to see the projects that they have been assigned to. From your account as the owner, you can see that they accepted the invitation by going to the Members area. The user's name will show on the list. You can change their role in the organization by clicking on the drop-down menu. To view or change the projects they are associated with, and the roles that they have within those projects, click on the Edit button in the Projects column. To set a pay rate or a bill rate for them, you can click on the Edit button under the Payment column. You can set the pay period for them, pay type, hourly or fixed rate, the pay rate, and the bill rate. Click Save to save any changes. If you wish to limit how many hours they can track in a week, you can click on the Create button under the Weekly Limit column. Enter the number of hours and then click Create. You can also edit project roles for your members from the projects themselves. Go to the Projects area, locate the project you want to edit, and click on the name. You will see a list of all the members, their roles, specific project pay rates and bill rates, and the ability to remove the member from the project. You can also click on the Edit Members button and make changes from there. To add in clients on your account, you'll want to go to the Clients area. In order to invoice clients, they will need to be added in this area. You're able to use the Add Client button to add them into your organization. You can set their name, email addresses. This is where invoices would be sent to them. You can also add in their physical address. The Projects drop-down menu will let you assign them to related projects. This is important because it will enable you to both pull reports based on work performed for the client, as well as generate line items for invoices you send them. Adding clients is a good way of simplifying reports, as you're able to select the client directly in the reporting area instead of having to select multiple projects manually. Finally, you can set the net terms that will apply to them. When finished, click the Save button and they will be added. You may also want to enter a budget for your client. This can be done by clicking on the Edit Budget button under the Budget column. You can set the type of budget, total cost or total hours, if the budget will be based on the bill rate or the pay rate, the budget amount, the date you'd like the budget to start on, and set a percentage of budget usage before you are notified. When finished, click the Save button. Time tracking is done from our time tracking apps. This is our official download page for the apps. You'll see that we have desktop versions available for Windows, Mac OS X, Linux, and Chromebook. We also have mobile versions for iOS and Android. Finally, we have a timer built in as an extension in the Chrome browser. Please note that the mobile apps and browser extension do not track activity or screenshots. If you use different Hubstaff apps to track time during a single day, the time will not synchronize between them immediately, but they will still appear accurately when viewing your time and activity on the dashboard. To see the time that your team has been tracking, you'll want to go to the Timesheets section. The Timesheets section is divided into 3 areas: Daily, Weekly, and Calendar. On the Daily timesheet, you'll be able to see the time each member has tracked for the day. To change the member you are viewing, use the Member drop-down menu. In the Weekly timesheet area, you'll see a breakdown of the time tracked for each day of the week, also separated by project and task. You'll see totals at the bottom. In the Calendars area, you'll see the dates separated in a weekly format, but also see a breakdown by the hours of the day the time was tracked on. Projects are color-coded so that you can easily tell them apart, and hovering over the time will bring up more details about it. If you're looking to approve timesheets for your members because you received an email informing you that the period ended, or you wish to approve them and pay them, you want to visit the Timesheets section on the left side and then select the Approvals tab. There you can filter by date and member. You can also see all open timesheets, any that have been submitted by your members, any that have already been approved, or any that have been denied. To make a change to a timesheet, you want to click on the Actions drop-down menu on the right. You'll see 3 options: View, Approve, and Deny. Please note that approving the timesheet will lock it out for editing, which would affect the member if they are actively tracking time during the timesheet period. You'll want to ensure that either the period has already ended or your member no longer needs to track time to it. If you approve a timesheet and haven't paid your member yet and wish to unlock it again, you can come back later and deny it to make it editable again. If you're wanting to make manual changes to time that was tracked, like adding, editing, or removing it, you can do that from the Timesheets area. Time can be changed in all three categories: daily, weekly, and calendar. In each section, you'll see an Add Time button. Clicking on it will bring up a box asking for which project you want to add the time to, which to do, this is optional, the time span you intend to add the time for, the total duration of the time, and finally the reason you are adding in the time. When you're finished, you can click Save. To edit or delete an existing time entry, find the entry and click on the Actions drop-down menu. You'll see the choices for Edit Time Entry, Split Time Entry, or Delete Time Entry. You can also delete time directly from the Screenshots area in the Activity tab. Hovering over the screenshot will present the choice to delete the time frame. You can also select multiple screenshots at once to delete them as the group. It is possible to create work notes in Hubstaff. The primary way to do this is directly in the time tracking tool itself. To the right of the timer, you'll see an Add Note button. Clicking on it will bring up an Add Work Notes dialog box. Enter the note you wish to add, and then click the Add Note button. The note will be added to the time frame you are currently tracking to, and will be visible on your account. Going to the Screenshots area on your account on the site, you'll be able to see the notes you have already added, edit them, or delete them. You can also add in new notes that you forgot to add while you were tracking time. Click on the Add Note button, enter the note in the description area, and click Save. Hubstaff offers the ability to add in simple to-dos that you and your team can work on within projects. To add in to-dos for your projects, go to the To-Do section. You'll be able to select the project you wish to create the to-do under, then click on the button titled Add a To-Do. Give the to-do a name, and then select an assignee. If you aren't currently using our project and task management tool Hubstaff Tasks, you'll see a Learn More button that will direct you to a page to learn more about it. When you are finished, click the Save button. With our Job Sites feature, you're able to define geographical work areas and create actions that will occur when someone interacts with those areas. This is known as geofencing. This will enable you to monitor your team, ensuring that they are tracking time within specific job sites or client locations. First, you'll want to visit the Job Sites area on the left-hand side. You'll see a map, and there will be an Add a Job Site button. Clicking on it will bring up a box with choices for naming the job site, setting an address for it, and deciding the radius of distance around the site you and your team can track time in to be considered as part of that site. When finished, click the Next button. Now you are able to configure the settings for the job site, add in members to it, and select the project you want the job site connected to. You're also able to set actions for what will happen when the member arrives at the job site, start timer, send a reminder, or do nothing, and also what will happen when they leave the job site, stop the timer, send a reminder, or do nothing. You can also add additional actions if you would like by clicking the Add New Action button. Once you have made your selections, click the Save button. All created job sites will be shown in a list and are searchable and selectable. If you'd like to see records of job sites visited by your members and information about it, you'll want to go to the Activity area and select Locations. You can see the amount worked at the job site, the last time was tracked at the site, and how many times the job site was visited. Pin drops represent the job site location, and members are represented by an avatar image. For a report format of the work, click on the View Job Sites Report button. You will be taken to the reporting area where you will see a breakdown of the job site name, when the member entered the site, when they left, and how much time was tracked. To see all available reports, visit the Reports area and click on the All Reports button. The reports are divided into categories: General, Payment, Budgets and Limits, Time Off, Invoice, Schedule, and Job Sites. Under the General category, you'll find the Time and Activities area, which is where you'll go to pull reports about the time your team is tracked. Click on it to open it. This report gives you many different controls. You can select between Me if you wish to see your own data, or Team if you want to see a report including all of the members in the organization. There's also a Date Selector tool, a toggle to turn graphs on and off, a gear tool for adding or removing columns in the report, a Group By tool to set how you would like data grouped, and finally a Filters button. Clicking on it, you will see that you can filter by client, project, member, and to-do. If you want your report to show totaled numbers, check the box titled Sum Date Ranges. Going back to the All Reports area, you can see the weekly report, which shows each member's time separated by each day of the week. Apps and URLs, which gives you percentages for how much specific apps and URLs are being used, and manual time edits, which will show you any edits to time that were made manually and not tracked using the time tracking tools. In the Payment category, you'll find amounts owed, which will show you how much you currently owe your members or how much you yourself are owed, and also the Payments report, which gives a record of past payments that were made. In the Budgets and Limits category, you'll see a weekly limits report, which will show you how much of any set limits your members have used for the week. Project Budgets shows how much of your project's budget has been spent so far, and Client Budgets, which will show how much of the total client budget has been spent. In the Time Off area, you will have a Time Off Balances report that will show you how many hours of time off your members still have available to them, and a Time Off Transactions report that shows you time that was already requested and the historical record of what time was taken off. In the Invoice category, you will see client invoices that will show you a report on invoices sent to clients, a Team Invoices area that will show you invoices sent from your team, a Client Invoices Aging report that will show you outstanding and past due client invoices, and a Team Invoices Aging report that will show you outstanding and past due team member invoices. In the Schedule category, you will see an attendance report where you can see records of your team members' shift statuses, complete, late, abandoned, or missed shifts. In the Job Sites category, there is a report titled Visits, which will show you when your members entered and left job sites, and for how long they tracked time there for. To create and view invoices, go to the Invoices area. Invoices are typically used when charging a client for time your team tracked while working on their projects, but can also be used for your team to invoice you as the owner for the time they worked. You can select between either invoices for clients or invoices created by your team members for the work they tracked. To invoice a client, click on the New Invoice button. You can select your client from the drop-down list, give the invoice a PO number, change the date the invoice is being issued on, and give it a due date. Line items can be entered manually or generated automatically. Only time that was tracked for the particular client's projects will be able to be generated as a line item. Clicking on the Generate Line Items button will open a box. Select the date range you wish to invoice the client for, the project or projects, and any members. You can change the way the line items will be organized if needed, and then click the Generate button. Add any final details to the invoice like notes, tax information, or discounts, and click the Save and Send button. If you don't want to send the invoice right away, you can click the Save as Draft button. The default settings for invoices can be found in the Settings area on the left side, and then selecting Invoices. You can add in your organization's address, your logo, tax information, payment terms, and a PayPal email the client can use to pay you directly from the invoice you send them. Hubstaff is able to track and monitor activities in several ways: through screenshots, keyboard and mouse usage, apps and URLs, and GPS location. The records for these activities can be found in the Activities area. you'll see each category: screenshots, apps, URLs, and locations. Apps, URLs, and locations are premium-only features, so you'll want to ensure that you have a premium account if you wish to have access to them. Any of these activity metrics can be toggled off in the settings area. If you visit the apps or URLs pages and you are on a basic plan, you'll see a screen telling you that you will need to upgrade in order to use them. This screen will also appear if you are on a premium plan, but no data has been tracked for the day that you are looking at yet, as you can see by the message at the top. If you're wanting to set up schedules for your team, that can be done from the Schedules area. To add in a new schedule, click on the Add Schedule button. A box will pop up giving you the options to select the user you wish to create the schedule for, the shift duration, the time zone, and a minimum number of hours they must track during the shift to have it be considered complete. To ensure that the shift repeats on a continuing basis, you want to click on the drop-down menu under Repeats. There are two options, weekly and bi-weekly. Once you make a selection, the option to set an end date will appear as well as checkboxes for each day of the week you wish your member to work on. Leaving the Repeat Until date blank will ensure the schedule repeats indefinitely. When you're finished, click the Save button. On the main Schedules page, clicking on a schedule will bring up more details about it, including any shift notifications. To see full reports of your members' shifts, you'll want to go to the Reports area and find the Attendance Schedule. In this area, you can see the status of your team member shifts: on time, late, abandoned, or missed. You can filter for specific members or for specific statuses. If you'd like to set up time off policies for your team, some examples are PTO, vacation days, holidays, or sick days, you'll want to go to the Settings menu on the bottom of the screen. After clicking on it, go to the Time Off menu. Here you'll see both the Time Off Policies area and a Holidays area. To add in a time off policy, click on the Add a Policy button. A box will appear asking you to name the policy. An example would be vacation days. Next, select any members you wish to be added. Finally, you'll need to decide how you'd like the hours to be accrued by your team: annual or based on hours worked. Clicking on hours worked, for example, will present you options for how you'd like the accrual calculated. At the bottom, there are checkboxes: allow negative balances, balance rolls over annually, requires approval, and paid. Hovering over the information icon will give you more information about them and what they do. When finished, click Save. To add in a holiday, go to the Holidays area. Click on the button Add a Holiday. A box will open up and will ask you to name the holiday, add any members to it, set the date for the holiday, and finally how many hours, if any, you wish to pay your members for that day. When finished, click Save. When your team wishes to request time off, they would go to the Time Off section on the left side of the screen. They will see a Time Off Request button, and after clicking on it will be presented with a box. They'll need to select the policy they wish to request time from, the dates they wish to have off, and the number of hours that they are requesting. Finally, it'll ask them to input a reason for the time off request. When finished, they can click Send, and a notification will be sent to you informing you that they requested the time off and asking you to approve or deny it. This can be done from the Actions drop-down menu on the same page. In Hubstaff, you can pay your members for the work they do in several ways: sending them payments manually, having payments processed automatically via our payroll system, which is a premium-only feature, or just marking time as paid so you can pay them outside of Hubstaff. To pay your team, you would first need to have a payment method added so that Hubstaff knows which account is going to be paying the members. We currently offer PayPal, TransferWise, Bitwage, and Payoneer. To add in a payment account, click on the Payments area and go to Payroll. A button will show for Add Payment Account. Click on that and the payment gateway options will appear. Select your gateway of choice. For this example, we will use PayPal, You'll be asked to verify and connect your account from the Payment Gateway site. Click on the Connect button. For your members, they would add in their accounts via a different method. They will want to click on the avatar image near their name on the bottom left, and then select Payment Accounts. On the screen, they will see the option for Add Default Payment Account. Once both you and your members have payment accounts added, you can send them payments for the hours they worked by going to the Payments area and selecting Send. You will have multiple options at the top: Pay for Hours, Approved Timesheets, and One-Time Amounts. Pay for Hours will pay your members for the time they have in their timesheets that is unpaid. One-time amounts are used most often for bonuses or similar payments that are not connected to unpaid hours. When payments are made, emails will be sent out notifying the member that they were paid, as well as notifying you about the payment. If you're wanting to change settings for your account, this includes all of the features, billing, etc., you want to click on the Settings button on the bottom left of the screen. There you'll see options for General, Billing, Team, Invoices, Payments, and Time Off. The General tab will show you your organization's name, logo, tax information, currency settings, when your work week starts, and the time zone selection. Going to the Billing area, you can change your plan, update your credit card information, and view billing history for your Hubstaff subscription. In the Team area, you'll see all of the available features and controls for them. Track apps and URLs, which gives you the ability to turn tracking for apps and URLs on and off. Track locations for GPS tracking. Screenshot frequency, which lets you control how many screenshots are taken each 10-minute interval. Screenshot blur, which will make screenshots unreadable for privacy concerns. Delete screenshots allows you to toggle on and off the ability for you and your members to delete screenshots that are captured. Modify time will allow your members to edit, add, or delete time that they've tracked. This can be turned on or off. Require reason will force your members to provide a reason if they make manual edits. Idle timeout decides how long the time tracking tool will wait before it considers your members idle after sensing that they have not touched the mouse or keyboard. Allowed apps allows you to restrict time tracking to desktop apps only, or allow all apps to be used. Record activity toggles on and off tracking of activity percentages of the mouse and keyboard. Keep idle time allows you to decide how any idle time will be handled for your members. Prompt will give the member the option to keep or discard the idle time. Always will always keep the idle time, and never will discard the idle time. Shift alerts will also allow you to control who is notified of shift statuses. Finally, auto-add users will allow you to have your members automatically added to newly created projects and decide what roles they will have. Moving to the Invoices area, you can enter your organization's address, tax information, payment terms for invoices sent to clients, and a PayPal email clients can use to pay you when you send them invoices. In the Payments section, you can decide if you would like time to be automatically marked as paid or not after a pay period ends, and if you would like a delayed payroll period to give yourself more time to review the timesheets of your members. The final section is the Time Off area. Here you can create and manage time off and holiday policies. Hubstaff offers many different integrations with third-party tools. To connect your account with one, click on the Integrations area on the left side. Find the tool you wish to integrate from the list and click on it. Let's use Asana as an example. Clicking on it, it will ask you to name the integration, and then click Create Integration. You are directed to Asana's site in order to log into your account and verify you wish to connect with Hubstaff. Once you have entered your details, you'll need to select a workspace to connect, and then click Save. The integration is finalized and created. Now you'll want to link your projects and connect your users. Click on Link Projects, and then select the projects you wish to link up. When finished, click Save. Next, click on Connect Users. Select the users you wish to notify from the drop-down list, click Notify, and they will be sent an email asking them to connect their Hubstaff account with the integration account. You will also see the ability to set the frequency that the time is logged back to the integration. The options are on complete, daily, hourly, or delayed. There's also an option to enable or disable project tracking if you only want your members to track time to to-dos and not to main projects. Please note, all integrations are different. The setup process can vary, and the ability for Hubstaff to write back time to the third-party tool will depend on which one you select. If you face any issues while setting it up, please always feel free to contact Hubstaff customer support directly at support@hubstaff.com.